So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Good morning, welcome back to the farm. Gonna answer some of your questions today. Gonna show you a few things that we do in terms of our routine and the things that are going on around the homestead right now. Today, actually here in a couple of hours, we're supposed to be getting some massive storms. Really don't like that. It's interesting to see weather like this roll in almost into the pushing towards the Mother's Day time here in May. Typically this type of weather with hail, tornadoes, and really bad weather, it kind of more rolls in towards the end of April. This is why a lot of us here now don't plant until Mother's Day. Well, here we are just a couple of days before Mother's Day. Check out this weather we're going to be getting. 5 inches of rain, hopefully not. But we're looking at potentially 5 inches of rain within the next 12 to 24 hours, just where I'm at. Yeah, that typically doesn't happen. By now, we get some rain showers or a day of rain or something like that, but typically we start drying out. And by the end of May, we're begging for mercy. So I'm just saying, watch what's going on with your weather. Hopefully, we're not going to have any damage. The only thing that I've got above ground right now planted are some tomatoes. I can replace that still. My potatoes are not up yet, so they're protected, and I've covered them really well. Everything else is pending until basically Mother's Day. So let's just hope this passes. But I've got a lot of questions coming in, so let's get them answered. Turkey fight. Turkey fight. Come in here for just a second. I've shown this before, but a lot of people are asking. They're asking about my oldest Great Pyrenees, and I have something else to talk about in terms of the Great Pyrenees. But first things first, this is in my description. This is what I've been giving my old guy who's going to be 10 years old, Cochise. He gets two of these a day. So he's got his kibble that he's been eating for years and years and years, has had no problems. And then I also add wet food or raw food, depending on the day or what's going on, what I got. But what I do is I do that because he loves it, but also I can just kind of stick those in there. He doesn't seem to mind them. Some people can just give it to them as a treat. Cochise doesn't really operate like that, so I just put it in the wet food, and we've had tremendous results. The Three Stooges just ran by in turkey form. So I've shown this before, so here it is right here. The other one I've kind of stuck on the top, boop, boop. So he comes in and he just goes chomp, and he gets that one big bite and takes it all down, and then he nibbles around in it. So far so good. Like I said, Cochise is going to be 10. We feel his hips have obviously started to bother him. He started to slow down, etc., etc. But after about a month or so of taking the U moves, that's right, he is doing tremendous things. And so this is what I buy. This is what I give them. I'm not sponsored by this company or anything like this. I'm just showing you what works here. You do what works best for you. Hi, Venus, goddess on the mountaintop. That's my girl right there, burning like a silver flame. Cochise loves the mud. Looky here. He's a mud mop. This is what Cochise does. This is how Cochise is. Now tomorrow, he'll go and roll around in the barn. Every bit of this will be gone like magic, isn't it, baby? We're going to tell everybody about that fly on your nose. What have you been doing? You've just been rolling in the wet mud, haven't you? All right, breakfast it is. Hi, baby girl. Did you finish your breakfast? It was good. This is Enoli. This is who Yona, the puppy, is going to be with. She's going to be training them at some point. Obviously, it's going to be a slow acclimation. But some of you are asking questions about the Great Pyrenees and their coat and how to take care of them. Clearly, ours is a farm dog. They are working dogs. They get in the mud like crazy. They dig, they roll, and they do all the things. So these are not animals that are show dogs, although she's awful pretty. But let's talk about that for a second. Look at all that peanut gallery behind us. You want some? All right, guys, we have Matilda and Amber. Matilda and Amber. You want me to put it on the ground, girlfriend? Here you go, baby. These are Blanche's babies. Silly girls, look at that. Oh, and there's their boyfriend. See, there's their boyfriend. He guards all my turkeys, y'all. I'm not kidding. Boo Radley right there is the turkey protector. Okay, get your bite, babies. Get your bite. Son, we got storms coming. You need to stop being out here, causing a ruckus, okay? Son, you need to get on faster than that. Get to the barn. Thank you very much. All right. So I've got to take care of Miss Turkey Mama over here, Mama Mia. Remember, she had 6 turkey eggs. She hatched all 6. One of the turkey babies didn't make it. It happens, y'all. But we do have 5 turkeys and 1 goose. That's not a duck in there. That's a gosling. That's a little baby gooser. And she's still on that last egg. That last egg, which you may have missed, I actually placed in a day later than the other one. So it may hatch today into tomorrow. So we're waiting to see. And she's still on it. So we're going to find out here in a minute. But listen, I'm going to talk to you about Cochise, the Great Pyrenees. All you've got to do is Google this if you want deep, information, extensive information about it. Great Pyrenees, the livestock guardian dog, they are here for us to love them, but also for them to work for us, okay? I just want people to understand that. But in terms of their coat, people are asking about grooming, and why sometimes you see them kind of looking, raggedy. Guys, these are outdoor dogs. Cochise is very, very happy. He's the most happy when he's out laying in mud. I know some people don't understand that because they take their schnauzer every week to be groomed and it sits on their lap, and that's fine if you do that, but you cannot compare those types of dogs to these types of dogs, especially when they are on a homestead, farm, ranch setting. They are rugged individuals, they are rugged protectors, and they have a double coat. We do not shave. You are not supposed to shave a Great Pyrenees. Now, you've probably seen some that have been shaved because they were completely manged out, or they were abused, or because they had never been groomed. But if you see some of the, if they look a little bit like they've, been rolling in the mud and need to be brushed, that's a typical look for a Great Pyrenees on many days. I do have a sheep shearer because Cochise despises being groomed. He only likes being brushed from his ears down his back. When you get to his hips, he doesn't like it. When you brush underneath, he cries. He's never been aggressive, but we have to be very particular when we groom him, and it's always been this way. This isn't a new development, okay? So what I did is I actually did buy, now pay attention to what I'm saying. I did buy a sheep shearer because he does tend to mat some on the back. And so what we did is we tried several different types of clips, because you can kind of cut out, depending on how you cut them, and clip out and bring out some of those clumps. Depending on where they are, they can hurt when you pull. So we found if we got a sheep shearer, and I put it on the highest setting, we give them some treats, and I just kind of hit some of those hot spots. Now, I do not shave him down. I mean, I leave it to where he still has like that much fur. It's just to get the clumps out. I don't shave him high and tight like he's about to go to boot camp. You are not supposed to do that. They have a double coat for a reason. It protects them, and you can read about it. It's mad science. It's awesome. You should technically brush out your Great Pyrenees at least twice a year when they are shedding their coat to transfer into the next phase. But they have a double coat. It's to protect them from the cold. That's why Great Pyrenees are in the mountains in so many different places, and in cold weather. They love it. 5-degree weather, they love it, okay? Don't be fooled. But also, they can be out in extreme heat because of that double coating. It insulates them and keeps them cool. And also, if you were to shave down a Great Pyrenees really tight all over and you put them out in the sun, they sunburn. They have very fair skin, freckled skin, and it sunburns very, very easily. That's how God made these protectors by design, so that they can be out protecting the sheep. He's protected Cochise and all of my Great Pyrenees. They are protected from all of these elements by God's design. It's kind of like how Jesus came about and his fine design to protect his sheep. That's exactly what's going on with the Great Pyrenees. Google it, find out more. Yes, they need to be brushed. They need to be clipped out at certain spots at times. They need maintenance and with their nails and their dew claws and things like that, it can be tricky too. But you got to work with it. But these dogs and other livestock guardian dogs are designed by nature, by the Lord, this way so that they can do their job. These dogs like to have a job. Okay, I know, I'm sweating something awful. It's so humid, you can tell storms are coming. It's awful. All right, I'm going to take the lid off. I don't know how much I'm going to film. I don't like to disturb her too much, especially if she's still trying to hatch an egg, and I hope she is. I don't know what's underneath there. You hear the babies. She has 5 turkey babies, 1 gosling, which is a goose. There's not a duck in here. So what I'm going to do is take the light real quick, check her waters, because I put the waters with the little bases in there. Originally, I just had a little bowl for her, but when she started hatching the babies out, I transferred to the little waterers, and that's so that the little babies, the little poults or anything won't drown, because that can happen. Yeah, I'm telling you, it can happen. So I switched to the regular waterers, and I put an extra one in there because we have a goose. And, oh, they're standing up. Okay, let's see what's going on down here, okay? I don't know what we're going to find. Okay, so we still have that 1 egg. Okay, we've got all the turkey babies, a little bit of poo-poo right there. I'll grab that. We got to feed them. Where's the little goose? There's the gooser baby, guys. Look. Okay, so I'm going to refill the waters, pour more food. I got to get my light because she's knocked it over. You remember how I use this little light in here? I do that overnight. Okay, just, all right, don't peck me, don't peck me. Okay, the egg is warm, but I don't see anything. All right, I'm going to put some fresh hay in here, more food, and water. You guys hungry? You want some snacks? We're going to get you some snacks, babies. All right, guys, I'm just going to put this right here. Easy access for everybody. We'll do it again this afternoon. Mama, don't peck me. I'm getting that bowl out. Sorry. Okay, now I've got the waterers out. I'm going to fill them. Remember seeing your papa or your... Remember how they used to dab? Yeah. Now in the winter, see, you got a snot rag, and in the summer, you got your sweat rag. I'm telling you, you just got to keep one on you 24/7. It's unbelievable. So here's the deal. So Turkey Mama, Miss Mama Mia, has done an awesome job. She hatched all 6 turkey eggs. Like I said, one of them didn't make it. It was fully hatched and doing fine, and then it didn't. This happens with all fowl or poultry, but particularly turkeys can be tough, y'all, and geese can be even tougher. So I'm really watching this little gosling in here. She has not obviously hatched the 2nd egg. I grabbed it real quick and I attempted to candle it, and it's just dark. I mean, so maybe it's going, I hope I didn't disrupt it if I did, but I have to know. I couldn't make any heads or tails. There is no pip. So I'm going to, if she's wanting to sit on it, obviously she is. I'm going to trust her on that. Mamas know. And you saw her still moving. She moved it around right in front of us, and then she was looking how she's going to tuck it again. So we're just going to watch and see. I did put 2 little, they're not bricks. Oh, they're the flats, I guess you call them. I have a lot of those here on the property, and that I use around the farm for stuff like that. Prop things up, you know, make a little perimeter of this or whatever. So I put the waters on those because it helped level them out a little bit. And I kind of moved them. I also took the gosling again. I did it yesterday and I did it today because obviously they do things differently. And, you know, I want that baby to understand that it needs to be drinking. Okay. So I dipped its beak again. It's kind of like, what are you doing? But I want it to, as James calls it, he calls it the wet. I'm going to go drink some wet. He means water. So I dipped its beak in the wet. It was so good. So I'm just going to continue to monitor that little gosling. Now I'm going to candle my eggs down at the house as well. I did it just the other day. Remember, I had 14 goose eggs in the incubator. Well, now I have 13 because there was 1 or 2 that were a little bit dirty. And in the early phases, I couldn't make heads or tails of what I was seeing. Well, now we're down to 13. So we'll see if it's still lucky number 13. But here's the deal. Mama's done good. She's in a safe environment. Once we got to the point where, like I said, where I thought she was close to lockdown or hatching, I moved them inside those large water troughs. You can do that with any bird, but chicken, quail, whatever. Quail are much more delicate. I've got different videos on that. Depending on the weather and how warm it is, especially in cold times, you want to have the little heat plate, and then I like to put a seed mat underneath it so they have heat from top and bottom. If you don't, your quail are just going to pretty much go. I mean, that's been my experience. I have videos on that. If you want more information, let me know. I'm currently not hatching any quail or adding quail at this time. I've got what I've got, and I'm just working with that. But she's doing great. So it goes to show you that good broody mamas will just about sit on anything. But I put the goose eggs in there because the incubation times are very close. Turkey is about 26 days, and it was 26 days on the dot pretty much for her. The geese were a little bit longer. They tend to take a little bit longer to hatch. That could have gone up to 28 days, so I could still be just in a waiting period. But I'll keep you posted because they certainly are sweethearts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to candle the eggs in the bathroom in my incubator, and we'll see how far they are. But somebody was asking the question, why in the world would I want more geese? Shouldn't I be spending my time with items with preparedness? Well, first of all, I think that I do a decent job reminding you to prepare and share how I prepare, and I don't need to answer those questions. But the reason that we have some of the critters that you're seeing is because they are alarms. Okay? I particularly like having geese, this breed of geese on my farm, because they are very loud. They are annoyingly loud. Okay, it's kind of like having an alarm going off a lot of times. That's what we want. We can do that here because we don't have neighbors living right up on top of us, and I live on unrestricted land. So when something comes towards my coops or comes towards my wherever the geese are, they are the very, very first to let you know. Guineas are very good at that. The problem with guineas, however, in my experience here, is unless you have a top on top of your run and they just free range, honey, the coyotes here pick them off like they're at the state fair. Okay, I had guineas. I enjoyed them. I didn't really like them being on top of the house all the time or 50 feet up in the air in the trees because I worried about them because I'm just like that. But it didn't take long. My guineas were picked off like that. So this is why we don't free range. We like to keep things in their enclosures. We like to keep the Great Pyrenees doing their job with these entities. And we also like to know that we have other alarms or ways to monitor our farm. And that's why I have all the geese in the incubator. Personally, I didn't think I was going to get that many, and we're not there yet. I may end up only getting 2. Remember that. We got to get through the whole incubation process. They've got to hatch out and make it, and then they can be doing great. You could be 2 weeks later and you come in and it's gone and you don't know why. So just because I have 13 in the incubator doesn't mean I'm going to end up with 13. But everything that we do here is by design. It's not just willy-nilly. And no, we're not a petting zoo for people to pull their cars up and come through and pet my animals. We are a private farm. And we farm, and the things that we do and how we do them are intentional because that's the plan that works for us, just like you would need to do the things that work for you. Now, I'm going to get my run in real fast, and then we're going to go quickly to the house, and we are going to candle eggs. Real quick, before I get my run on here, I'm going to show you. We got that old kennel out that I told you that we were going to be removed, and 2 of the panels are really damaged. So we're going to probably get rid of 2, and then I'm going to put 2 aside probably because I can use them for future gardening plans. So we tried really hard to get this project moving. We're doing pretty good. At least we have this out, and then you can come down here and you can see we have the new kennel that needs to go up. So it will go up in the corner after we even the ground out, and then we'll put some wood in some of the areas so it blocks them in so they can't push through the wire, because believe me, goats can do anything, honey. See? Where is Cochise? Why, Cochise is flat out laying in the mud. He loves that cold, delicious mud, and right up to his left, he's protecting all of his babies. So see, he's sitting up on the hill, guarding everybody, but yet he's in the cool mud. I'm gonna do my warm-up right here while we're talking because I'm gonna beat this weather. So here's the deal. Some of you were asking about what I was doing with my tomatoes the other day. I have several, guys, I have videos on tomatoes, and tomatoes plant like crazy. But what I did was I was putting my homemade fertilizer in the hole. Put it down in the hole, before I was putting the plant in. You were specifically asking me about the Tums. It is wise to put calcium carbonate into the holes, especially for things like tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, squash even. I do all of this for all of my plants like that. Now, if I'm growing from seed, I don't. I'll do it differently. But my tomato plants were going in. So I loosened the soil. I had my mixture of, gosh, what did I do this time? I did my ground up Tums for the calcium carbonate. That's so that you don't get blossom end rot. Blossom end rot, okay? You know, when the back of the tomatoes is black and dark, it looks like it's got a big old bruise and it's yucky. That's blossom end rot, okay? So I'm trying to prevent that from happening. So I mixed up my ground up my Tums. I also do Epsom salt. I did bone meal and I did wood ash. That's why I was burning. All last week you saw me taking things and sticks and leaves and different things, and I was making a wood pile and I burned it. And I did that for a reason. I have all the ashes to make for my fertilizers as I plant or as my plants need them. But the Tums specifically is for the calcium carbonate. You can use eggshells. Okay, don't put a whole egg down in there. I've tried that and that was unimpressive, okay? I didn't like that at all. You're better to grind up the eggshells, but a lot of people argue that those take a lot longer. So guys, do what works for you, whatever, I don't care. But I like to keep bottles of Tums, generic Tums, and I grind them up in the mortar and pestle and I make them into a powder and I mix them. I put them when I'm planting. I come back and I'll do them around the base maybe 2 weeks later. And then I also, with my water picks, if you've seen my videos, I use water picks so that I can control the water. And I can watch how my, not animals, but those two, yeah, but how my tomatoes are absorbing water. So you've got the pick and then you've got the 2 liter and you pour the water in it. And you can sit there and watch within a couple of hours or less and see how thirsty your tomatoes are, okay? Unless, of course, your planter is plugged up, and that happens. But I will even take the Tums and I'll just drop them in there. Now, you can put them as a powder in there, but so I've got the sand at the bottom. I'll just drop a Tums in there and just let it absorb. I really don't have problems with blossom end rot, but I'll tell you what I'm about to have a problem with is rain. I gotta run. Eggs in a minute. Whoa. Get a little light right here. How about that? Is that better? Okay, so we're back at the house. It did rain on me, whatever. But what I'm going to do is show you my 2 incubators. They have goose eggs, goose or geese. Okay, eggs in them. I have 13 total. Today is day 15, okay? Day 15. I just checked my calendar, made sure. They've already been rotated once, but I'm going to go ahead and go through candling each of them. I may show you a couple. I won't show you all 13. It'll take forever. So we'll find out how many we have left, and we'll talk about it. All right, so we're in the bathroom. And here you can see I have the Nurture Right. Can you see that right there, 360? I couldn't get that name right the other day. I kept calling it the Harvest Right. I knew there was something right about it. Okay, so this one's doing really good. You got the 99.5. We're at about 55% there on the humidity. I've got my little window about halfway right here. But you can see in here, I've got goose eggs. Now listen, when you see these incubators, these trays are perfect for chicken eggs, bantam eggs, turkey eggs, etc. These eggs are just really, really big. So what I've done is I turned the rotator off. This egg, when you have this, all you really have to do is fill the water and watch the temperature. It does everything else for you. But these eggs are so big, I prefer to just take the lid off 2 or 3 times a day and I manually turn the eggs. So see over here, I have the same thing. Now down here is the little well where you pour your water in. You're supposed to pour it just on the left up to a certain time period, and I've got a little cap that goes on the right. But I find that I have to use both. Some of you may not do that or like that, but it helps me hold the water in a little bit better and the humidity. Because see, look up here, this one is at 44. So once we candle these and we place them back, I'm gonna have to add water. And I just watch it. You know, I come into my bathroom, my little bathroom here. Here's my countertop. Come in here several times a day. So it helps to remind me to turn the eggs, to check everything. It's sort of like that, you know, out of sight, out of mind deal. No, I keep it right here. And then of course right here, I have my little cup. This is what I used. I just come over to the sink, fill it up. Boop, 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 boop. Thirsty, thirsty. Okay, and that's where we're at. Now you can candle these right here. This is very bright. But I find that I prefer my little manually held candler. It just works better. I mean, this gives you the idea, don't get me wrong, it gets the basic job done, but for filming and for fun, I just prefer what I normally use. All right, let's start. Let's get them rolling. So just to show you, and I may put a link down below if you want to, because somebody's going to ask. This is the Magic Fly egg candler. The name may have changed. I think these companies have switched over 2 or 3 times in the last 10 years that I've been doing this. This is the egg candler that you've seen me use multiple times on my channel. Same old, but it works. All right, so I'm going to grab this one first because it's really clean. So I'm hoping that you're gonna have a really good view of what this looks like on day 15 with a goose egg. All right, you can still see veining right there. We've got a nice little air sac right there. Let me get it right underneath. And it looks like you've got a little bit of movement in there. Do you see it moving around a little bit? So this baby's rocking and rolling. All right, so that's a good sign. Okay, so here's the next egg number 2. I'm not moving this egg at all, and you can see the movement from the baby right there. So he or she, love it, are doing just great. All right, we're gonna move fast, y'all. So egg 1 and 2 that we went through in the first incubator are a go. So we're going to close this out right here in the bathroom, honey. We finished candling all of the eggs, and I rotated them again, and I've added water, got everything going. All 13 look good. You can hear the puppies. We've brought them in. Yeah, I know, it's starting to rain. Storms are coming in. So guys, be very safe out there, okay? A lot of wicked weather. A lot of wicked weather these days. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? So I hope I answered all of your questions. Keep them coming. I will do my best to answer all of the ones that I can get to as quick as I can, I promise. But like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. Be safe out there, okay? Think ahead. And oh, by the way, real quick, this right here is a towel, plain white towel. If I think that the weather is getting a little bit wicked, more than just a little bit of rain, I think we might lose power, I will wrap a towel or 2 around each of these incubators, and that will help keep them insulated. So if I lose power, it helps them out a little bit longer. That has worked for me in the past. You do what works best for you. Hope this helps. Guys, I love you. Stay safe out there. God bless and Godspeed, and I'll see you on the next video.